It won't kill you to give somebody $1,000 for their dead relative. And a lot of them will probably give the bodies over. So people can go to school to get into the mortuary business or the mortician's business or get into the whole pre-need grief counseling business because it's big business. And no matter what is going on in the economy, I don't care how many closures of state offices and DMV offices and you're going from $25 to minimum wage because the economy is going down and things are getting bad, people are always going to die. But what the so-called white folks don't know is you don't have to kill our people and you don't have to steal our people. One, you could have got your own melanin by grafting in. Two, you can still get bodies and body parts. Just ask.
I'm going to open up another phone line. Area code 310. Do you have a question or a comment?
No, I'm not familiar with the station.
Okay. Thank you. Area code 313-273. Are you there? Okay, go ahead, Dr. Yaffa.
Yeah, all I want my people to understand is there's big business in death. And if they are telling you that on the cheap end, the cheapest a dead body is worth is $6,000. Well, you can probably double that or raise that up 10 times as much. You know what I mean? Because they have a tendency to lowball when they're talking. Just like if they say, oh, you know, and during the Hurricane of Katrina, there was 1,500 deaths. Well, you can at least double that because they're only going to tell you the lowball number. They don't want to tell you the real number. So if they say a dead body is worth $6,000, I'd say it's worth a minimum of $12,000, especially ours. And my C-star lady mine will say, shit, that's some bull, Yaffa. That means it's worth 10 times as much at $60,000. On the high end, the body is worth $250,000, so they claim, which means it's more than that.
What makes a body a high-end body?
Personally, I think it's things like melanin richness. I think it's things like being O-negative blood. I think it's things like being O, any type of blood type O blood. I think it's about being a healthy specimen. Remember, a lot of Europeans, especially males, and females for that matter too, have to go out and join gyms and 24-hour fitness and work out and take steroids and the whole 9 yards and, you know, to get the body of a brother. They have to get, you know, dick pumps and Viagra, stick-em-up pills and whatever to get a phallus or a penis that does even a fraction of what the brother has. You see one that's hanging to their knees, they've done something to get that thing like that. Brothers have a tendency to be that by nature without having to do really anything. They don't have to do a whole lot of working out. If a brother's working out, now you're looking at a Tookie Williams type of body. If a brother's not working out, he has a tendency to be, you know, you see the definition in his body by nature, especially these young warriors that are in these so-called gangs. You know what I'm saying? So these bodies of our young male warriors are worth a lot. One, you know they ain't no cannibals. Two, you know they haven't been to Europe, so their blood is good. Three, they have this melanin richness that you can get out of the pineals and pituitary. Now, who in the world would be calling me at this hour, knowing that I'm doing an interview? Their pineals and their pituitary glands and all of these great things that you can get from them. To me, that is what makes their body parts worth more than anybody else's. Hold on 1 second.
And you're listening to the Truth to Power show. My name is Beverly D., and today we have on Dr. Yaffa Bay, and she's giving you something to think about as far as the funeral business.
I saw me putting you guys on hold. I had to take that call. That was my only son.
Okay. Well, we have about 10 minutes left.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But, you know, they were asking what makes a body worth more. If they also can get the body parts and organs out of a body within 24 hours of the death, that's worth more. Now, remember, back in the day, they would shoot down. A brother might get shot down in the street, or even a young Mexican brother would get shot down in the street. They may be left laying in the street for hours and hours, waiting on the coroner to show up. Well, recently, brothers are getting shot down in the street, and the police and the ambulances aren't coming as fast as they should, but they're coming fast enough that they leave the body there long enough that everybody, for all intents and purposes, all the witnesses are like, oh, they just let so-and-so lay there until he died.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times what they're doing is they're letting so-and-so lay there until they slip into a semi-coma.
Mm.
That's why a lot of the bodies are being picked up and carried off, not in zip-up body bags, and not waiting for a coroner to come out and check out whatever the scene is. But they'll put the body in an ambulance, throw the body on air or whatever, and keep the body long enough, depending on where the person was shot, to extract the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidney, the spleen, things that people that are waiting on what do you call organ donation lists can steal. We haven't signed these DMV cards saying we agree to donate, and yet they're getting the parts anyway.
And I also heard something that you shouldn't touch a body for 72 hours because it could come back. After 72 hours, then you know that the person is really gone.
That's accurate, but they don't want us to come back. They'll have the body there long enough so they can take out what they need to get because they are deficient. And they want what they should have gotten by nature when we were giving it away freely. We know a lot of people that have crossed the racial divide to make children with other races of people, creating a third race. But those individuals, although they are classified still black, because what you got one drop of what you call black blood that makes you whatever they're calling black, and we know black means pale, but I know they're talking about us when they say it. You know what I'm saying? Again, all those individuals had to do was keep getting darker.
Dr. Yaffa Bay,
I'm here.
What did you say again? What the word black means?
Black means pale. It means bleached up, pale, wan, W-A-N, or white in color. That's the original definition. And I say the original definition is the current definition. That's why in that movie they were talking about the Matrix, and they were calling Neo calling somebody Copper Top. I think they were talking to Neo. They called him Copper Top. Well, I know the caller earlier was talking about copper, but copper coloring is what so-called African Americans are. You get you a United States Indian head penny and put it on the brown skin side of you. Truth of the matter is, if you take a modern day penny, which is made of zinc but still copper colored, and put it on the brown skin side of you, copper coloring is you. The original definition of the word American was the copper-colored races that the Europeans found here. That's originally what American meant. I submit to you that's still what American meant. When they started calling original autochthonous Americans American Red Indians, the research proves that the American Red Indians, which is not the same as the New Day American Indian, American Red Indians were called red because of the coppery coloring of their skin. The only people in America that have coppery coloring are the people that, for whatever reason, they have been led to believe that they were dragged here from Africa, when in fact, you are the children of the people the Europeans found here. And there were multiple races and different factions of us up and down the Americas and on America's surrounding islands that were originally called Americans of Ta Mary. Ta Mary, I marry Ta, I marry Ka, going back to Horace Butler. He said brothers and sisters named America, it was called Ta Mary. Then they started calling it America, started calling it America, and American means copper colored. So our people are Americans, whereas black originally meant bleached up and pale in color. And I say it originally meant that, it still means that. Now, a lot of people say things like, oh, this word in Egyptian meant black, and this word, and I submit that my people need to be very, very cognizant of these words that they're utilizing and applying to us, because just because you say that this Egyptian word or this Amharic word or this Arabic word translates in English to mean black, that does not mean for a second that it translates into English to mean black. It may translate into English to mean what is currently classified as black, but most likely it meant dark or per se, in color. You know. People just need to get it clear. I don't think it meant black. I think it meant dark. Because most probably, way back in those days, people knew that the word black meant pale and white. So it couldn't have meant that. What they should say is it means what people classify black today. But don't say this original word in Egyptian meant black because you weren't there and you don't know that. Just because the European tells you that that's what it translates to into in English doesn't mean that that's really what it translates to in English. It may translate to fuscus or Percy or darkish in complexion. Don't mean it meant black, because black means white.
Interesting. That's why it's very important that we understand the words that we say and the English that we speak. Now, Dr. Yaffa, can you give the people where they can reach you at?
Yeah, they can telephone me at 213-928-6155. That is my Magic Jack number. If I do not answer, leave a message, and I will return your call. If you are a T-Mobile customer, you might want to say that because I know that means the call is free for me. If you're not T-Mobile, then I won't be returning your call until the weekend when it is free for me to return your call because I usually call on my cell phone. But they can call 213-928-6155, or they can send an email to Yaffa Bey, Y-A-F, like Friday, another F-A-B-E-Y, at access4less.net, which is spelled A-C-C-E-S-S, the numeral 4, L-E-S-S.net. Yaffa Bey at access4less.net. Or if you go to yaffabey.com and you put a question in the frequently asked questions section, then I can respond to you. But don't wait for me on Facebook and Twitter and all these other places because it's not going to happen. Yaffa Bey don't participate.
Okay.
I'm not a member.
All right. Great. Well, thank you again, Dr. Yaffa Bey,
You're
for
very
giving us
welcome.
this information.
Yeah, look into it.
Yes,
Look for
very,
this
very
thing
important.
called. Look for this thing called how much. My sister Key sent it to me. How much is your dead body worth? That's on YouTube, I think. There's articles out there about it. How much is your dead body worth? Check that out. It's approximately 58 minutes long.
Okay, will do. And I want to thank you again for giving us this information, and thanks for coming on.
You're very welcome.